Great line of Petrov, Mikhailov, and the late Valery Harmolov. It was a great line for the Soviet Union.
Was it ever? The Soviets in red put the puck in the Buffalo zone. Sabres moving out to Scott Arniel, down to 5. Trying to play it in around Starnikov. The puck knocked away from him. Rutu gets it, and his backhander went wide. Scott Arniel picks it up over his right wing. Was met by Fetisov. Starnikov, the other defenseman on this combination. Now that shot right on. Galashevov, great save. As Rutu went for the rebound, it was knocked away. Makarov plays it up the left side. Fetisov pulling it back from Rick 5. Fetisov's pass to Larionov. Larionov, who has not scored a goal in the series, played it to the right side to Starnikov. Glass-size pass is tipped. That goes over the glass up into the seats off Larry Ernoff's stick.
What they like to do, though, you notice they really didn't get that pass they wanted, but they put the soccer elements into hockey.
Very good analogy. Yeah, the soccer elements, if you got nowhere to go, and then they move it so quick as well. On this face-off, the Soviets controlling it back at their own end. Kasatonov, normally Fetisov's partner, but not this season, moved it up to Homatov, who dumps it in. Yensky put in after it. It's played up the boards by the Sabres. Donnelly gets to it. Turgeon open on left side. He went to the right wing to Foligno. Back to Donnelly for a backhander. Around the boards to Turgeon. Turgeon trying to center. It was knocked away from him. Kasatonov for Central Red Army. To Homatov on right wing. Andrei Homatov. Stick handling into the Islander zone. Centered one. That's cleared by Podger. Podger bumping with Bikov. And now Kamensky takes him into the boards as the puck goes to center ice. Bikov backing over the line. Vyacheslav Bikov dropped it to the point. Kucherov shot is handled routinely. Luce backs it off the boards into the center ice zone. Back in defense is Kasatonov here. His teammates in the middle of the player change as he dumps it in. Kamensky in after, got knocked down, and there's Parker playing it to the point, but not out. Kucherov centers one, tipped in front, and ends up back of the net. Buffalo Sabres trying to move out of their own zone. Kamensky ran into Housley, knocking him down. Now Bodger plays the puck up the right wing board. Over to check for the Soviet Union, Diakin. Meantime, the puck goes right to Galashevov, and he decides it's time to get a whistle, Scotty.
Yes, and we saw initially the good rush the Sabres had. Who was joining it? Number 6, Phil Housley, leads the NHL with 18 goals as a defenseman in just 42 games. So Housley has really put it together this year, has become a dominant force offensively, tied with Pierre Turgeon. So the Soviets will be well advised to watch number 6 because he'll join every rush he can.
Now you look at number 33, Benoit Hogue, moving in for the face-off. Hogue has Rupp on one side, and over on the other, Jeff Parker. Puck comes back toward the point, kicked in along the boards by Kelly Johansson. Now the Central Red Army team comes out to center. The fans react to that hard hit on Telepukin. Davidoff checked over on the far side. The pass up the boards to Hogue, comes over the line for a shot. Galashevov, the save, the rebound, is shot wide. Parker had the top of the net and missed it. Now Lindy Ruff is checked by Chernik. Puts the puck behind the goal for Malakoff. Out to Telepukin at center ice. Telepukin with Davidoff moving in. Telepukin on the backhand. Got it wide, and Parker goes back. Telepukin is slow to get back to his skates. Meantime, the Sabres riding out of their own zone. There is no score. We played 3 minutes of the opening period here in Buffalo. Fetisov let it go back in the net. Starnikov moved it up to Davidoff, down to Fetisov. Good pass on the left side. Kozhnikov for the shot that takes off on a deflection and ends up in the seats. You're watching the Soviet. McDonald with Scotty Bowman at War Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. There is no score. Getting ready for a face-off on the edge of the circle nearest the blue line and to the right of Jacques Cloutier. Recently won the face-off for Buffalo, and it's played along the boards away from Fetisov. There'll be no icing. We watch Starnikov go back for it. Played it up this right side. Kozhnikov takes it back in the net, giving it to Fetisov. Fetisov, and pass up the middle, and the Sabres knew exactly what to expect. Broke it up.
Kasatonov usually the partner of Fetisov, but now it's Starikov. I don't know if they're getting ready to let Fetisov go.
They may well be. Wouldn't that be something if he were to join the New Jersey Devils for the playoff run that they have underway in the National Hockey League? Jekin with a cross-ice pass, broken up neatly by Housley. And open on the left wing, and Housley very alertly blocked the pass. Now gives the puck to Bodger. Dumps it in between the defense. Going back for the Soviet Union, Casatona. Played it up the boards. Lutu got a stick on it, then steered aside by Galashima. In forechecking is Housley. Had it momentarily. Now goes off Shepard. And the Soviets take over again. Yuzerov back of the net. Kasatonov waiting here on the right side. Yuzerov cross right in front of his own net. Dangerous play.
Not much room to move around behind that net in this rink. Usually you get an international hockey 13 feet. It's only 10 in the NHL.
Now Makarov brings it in on the left side. Centered one, but behind his teammate, Mchev, and it's Arneal coming down the left side. Got Arneal, put it over Rutu's stick. McFly went in after it, got checked on the play. Mchev over on the left wing. His pass deflected. And Bodger, covering up, shoots it right back into the Soviet zone. Alexei Gusarov went back to the net. Larry Arnott, number 8. Larry Arnott played it up the left side. Gusarov, the defenseman, rushes it into the Buffalo zone on the backhand. It's in deep, faced to the corner by Playfair, then centered to Kamensky. To Larry Kamensky. Makarov shot. That's deflected and went wide. Dikov and Kamensky along with Makarov, the forward line for the Soviets. 15 of these players participated in the Winter Olympic Games, winning the gold medal when undefeated in Calgary last February. They had lost one game in the series. Here's Kamensky breaking in. What a save by Kluche, reaching out to knock it off his stick. Good scoring opportunity denied for the Soviet Union. They tighten up again. Biakin with a pass. Anderson took Kamensky down. Vikov for the shot. Luce the save, and he covers the puck. 14 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the opening period. There is no score. You're watching the NHL Soviet Union Superpower Series on Sportsnet.
Valery Kamensky shows the speed now. He gets a real good scoring chance and a good save by Kluche. And Kamensky caught my eye in that rendezvous series. Hasn't lived up, though, to his expectations.
No, so often they said that he saved his best games for North America. In a pretty good series in winning the gold medal. He hasn't been quite as spectacular in this tour. They have so many young players coming. It must make National Hockey League general managers and coaches drool a little bit. Gilney, who was a star in the World Junior Tournament, plays regularly for Central Red Army, is not with the team right now. Molino centering one from behind the Central Red Army goal. The puck comes back into the Buffalo territory. Slapped out of there into the center ice zone by Sean Anderson. The Soviets get over the line. Vikov to Kamensky. What a stop. Salapukin pokes at the rebound. Luce blocked it right at the goal line. Molino jostling, and we get our first little bit of a tussle in this series as they go back to that Buffalo net.
They don't fool around, though. They get that pass across, Jigs. He was just trying to fire it right by Kluche, but like you mentioned, the anticipation of Kluche made the save. He was with it all the way because it was a quick pass across, and he one-timed it right away, and the speed of that pass and the way they can convert it made a real good scoring chance. And this is, I think it's Baikal. He comes in here. Now watch this. He gets up again, and he sort of keeps the puck, and still on his knees. Here's the pass across and the quick one-timer, but look at Kluche's left pad makes the save.
Great stop. Salapukin went right back after the rebound. Could not jam it between the pads of Jacques Kluche. We mentioned at the outset, Kluche has not played very many games this season, but he has made some big stops. Each team with 3 shots on goal officially, and no score. We have played 7 minutes of this opening period at Buffalo. Soviet setting up at center ice. Starikov having giving it to Fetisov. He'll drop it back. This is what Scotty was pointing out. Nowhere to go with it. They just go back, go back.
They'll want to make it go on the other side, but the guy was standing still. But see how they get them in motion.
Now Chernik plays the puck out to Fetisov. It went off his stick. Davidoff is there and dumps it in. It'll be picked up by Housley, and that's going to be, well, the whistle is for a slash. Referee Bill McCreary indicating a penalty call. If you're opposed, 1-900-300-6312. Scotty, here's the 75 cents. Who are you going to call? Yes or no?
You're right, but we should mention this Central Red Army team is a team in the regular schedule, but if there's a good young player in the Soviet Union, he ends up on this team. So it is sort of an all-star team, although they play in the regular league as a team. So you have to remember that they will group their best players onto that one team.
Yeah, they've picked up a couple of players from other teams, put them on Central Red Army. The Dimo Riga team had a line as well, a line that played in the Olympics. Now Fetisov for the shot, changed direction, went up into the seats. The penalty call, by the way, was rough for slashing at the 7:13 mark.
Saw the reaction, though, of Fetisov. He must have been talking to himself, because that's something we didn't see half a dozen years ago. Get the puck on the point, tee it up in the long wind-up in the slap shot, and the saber, I think, was Scott Arneal, deflected in the crowd.
Be practicing for the Devils? I'm sure the people with New Jersey would like to have him just as quickly as they can get him. Speculation is that the date isn't that far away. Sarikov on the left side, Fetisov on the right as they put the puck deeper in the Buffalo zone. Makarov with it now. Back it goes to Fetisov, to Makarov, finds some room at the side of the net. Larionov centers, and they score! Igor Larionov setting up the play, and the power play works for the Soviets as Nemchev, added to this line, gets the power play goal.
But it was textbook passing, and one thing with the Soviets, they had the other defenseman who was the bothering Klutsia. He comes in on the other side, and there's Fetisov. He's not going to make a mistake. He passes it to Makarov, and watch Larionov right in front of the net now. He'll just redirect this one, and you see the other defenseman just on the left-hand side nearly came in, and he had two selections to pass that puck, yet he put it right where he wanted in the goal crease, deflected in.
Igor Larionov and number 24, Sergei Makarov. From Larionov.
Well, there's the scoring on the goal for the Soviets. Nemchev getting his second goal in this series. Larionov and Makarov assisting at 7:43. It is a power play goal for the Soviets. Ames at 6 aside as Housley took Rogers' pass. Comes over the Soviet line, gave it to Donnelly, his shot. Galashimov hugging the right post, makes the save.
Got the defense backing in a little bit. Housley jumping up and going up like a forward. And what they do now, the Sabres, they've got it pretty well down pat. That winger will come back and take Housley's position. Watch Housley. He'll jump up here right now, move into the middle. The other guy will go back and play defense with him. And it actually was a good pass to Donnelly. This is a shot from the top of the circle, but a little high right at the goaltender.
Foligno wins the draw. The puck goes back to Butcher for a shot. Galashimov to save. The rebound has got it in. Mike Foligno.
The pass came across to Bodger. He let it go. Galashimov could not handle it. He thought he had it in his glove. The puck was on the ice. And Foligno went in and put that rebound in. But a shot here from Bodger. He let it go right off the face-off. Now he can't handle it. Watch Foligno just come in and just sort of tap it and actually hit it out of the air. And this game is tied on a good shot by Bodger. A good goal by Foligno.
Mike Foligno has scored some big goals for the Buffalo Sabres. He's even jumped higher than he did in the reaction to that goal, but it has tied up this game at 1-1. Foligno has 10 regular season goals, and that's one at 8:08. And hear the reaction from the crowd as the announcement is made. Bergeron will get an assist. Bodger as well. The Soviets right back into the Buffalo territory. Kamensky trying to dig it off the end boards. Centered one back. Bigog put it behind the net. Homatov trying to put it out in front. Homatov got turned around by the defensive work of Playfair. Pushes at Homatov. The puck in the meantime on the right wing for Shepard. Out to center. Priestley plays it back the other direction. The play broken up, and here's Kamensky down that wing. He is one of only 3 right-hand shots as he gave the puck to Bigog. He centered it. Nobody there for the Soviets. Held in at the line by Starikov. Bigog went back to the blue line, then turned it over. A rare move. Johansson moves it into center ice. Shepard across the line. Shepard put it off to the goaltender's right side. And comes back. Held in by the Sabres. Shepard from back of the net. Trying to stuff one in. Got another opportunity. And the Sabres with a second chance. Galashimov diving around in front of the net. Buffalo scores! A lot of action around the goal. Galashimov left his feet about 5 seconds before the Sabre, and Shepard had a pretty good chance.
Hope put it in, but all kinds of good shots here. Scott Metcalf gets a good shot on a turnaround, and finally the goaltender makes the save. But you see he goes down, and the puck comes around in front here. Watch the goalie now. He goes down. Shepard tried to jam it from the back, but Metcalf does a turnaround. He makes this save and doesn't get up. He gets down, and finally Hogue will come in. He's down. He slides it. That puck just trickles in.
Benoit Hogue for Buffalo. 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the opening period. And the Sabres lead 2-1. Hogue had 9 goals in the NHL, and now it's given Buffalo the 2-1 lead. Zelepukin centering the puck to Chernik as the Soviets move in. What a job by Ramsey all over Chernik. Soviet Union able to recover the puck. Davidoff put it in the corner. Sabres trying to move it out. It's picked off by Zelepukin, who shot it wide. Davidoff crossing in front of the net at the time. Now Chernik goes to center one. Ramsey trying to hand pass it. It comes back to Starikov. Knocked away. Good heads-up move by the Sabres, Jeff Parker. Now Parker slaps it into the Soviet zone. Both teams in the middle of player changes. And we watch the Soviets trying to move out. It's Fetisov, his pass into the skates of 5. Rutu for Buffalo plays it back. Bill Housley's pass was tipped to Bodger. Out of Scott Arneal. He is checked outside the line. Anchenav moving up. Puck knocked away from him. Uzerov got it to Larry Arnott. Wing to the boards. The Soviets. Uzerov goes for Makarov. Put it in front. Bodger is there. Housley gets bucked. Live is knocked down. Arneal picks up the puck for Buffalo. Across to Housley. He was onside but could not control it. Now Five gets to it. Rick Five kicks it in along the boards. Arneal puts the body into Uzerov. Fired it right across the front of the net. Makarov tips the puck to center. Bodger puts it right back in. There's a delayed penalty call against the Soviet Union. Gary Arnott is going on for the Soviets. Pause now for a regional break. You're watching the Superpower Face-Off series on Sports Channel America.
This is the turnaround shot by Scott Metcalf, and Shepard actually tries to get a hold of the puck, but finally, you see there's Shepard poking away. The goalie's down before the shot is even taken. Finally, look at the strength of Hogue. Surprisingly enough, is able to get that puck. Starikov can't get him, and there's a look at the goaltender, Galashimov. He just can't believe it went in.
That's one of the things that have changed over the years, too, the reactions. The players now, we used to think they were robots. There was never any reaction or indication of excitement or disappointment. We saw Larry Arnott in the penalty box. Interference is the call at 11:10. So the Sabres with the power play for the first time. Their power play is ranked 12th in the NHL, but that, of course, has no bearing on this game. So we watch the Indochine move in. The Soviets are famous for shorthanded goals. They'll drive a team crazy. The forechecking of Makarov plays it across to the right side, and there's Shepard back for Buffalo. Ray Shepard played it to the corner. Johansson setting up back of the net. Shepard and Turgeon both went to the far side. The pass instead to Anderson. Sean Anderson plays it up into the Soviet zone. And that's going to be called back. Anderson put it in from his own side of the center ice stripe.
Goalie read it well, did not play it, and Anderson was about 2 feet from center ice. Turgeon's been a big power play hockey player for the Sabres. Half of his 18 goals have come in the power play. And surprising statistic, Phil Howes, only 3 goals on the power play of his 18. Rick Vaive coming over from Chicago has already had 2, which gives him 9 of his 12 on the power play. So the Sabres have got a potential for a good power play with Vaive coming over from Chicago. He likes to stay in front of the net and get that little tip in and rebound.
He's one guy who will sacrifice, take all the punishment that any team wants to lay out. Turgeon on this face-off. Vaive is the other forward on the right side, and Rutu is on the left as we watch Housley rushing the puck in. They got checked. Akov is knocked down. Turgeon trying to set it up. It's knocked off his stick by Homaton. Now Vaive back in the net. Runs into a check thrown by Malikov. Roger knocks it out of the air at the blue line, plays it into Vaive, and he just could not get a stick on it. Malikov and Vaive go to the corner. The puck comes back to Housley. Across to Bodger. And along the boards to Rutu. Vaive parked on one side of the net. Turgeon on the other. This is Vaive out in front. He scores! has been a big plus to Buffalo since that deal with Chicago, and it's made it 3-1.
Well, you see here, it actually didn't get out. Bodger makes a good play, and 5 ends up going back on the goal line. We'll see it here. Housley keeps this, but watch 5. The other defenseman will come up on the line, and he leaves 5. Finally, Ruutu holds the puck, gives it to Vibe, and Vibe comes right out and puts it right in the top corner, right over the goalie. A great goal, 3-1 Buffalo.
And now the Soviets into the Buffalo zone. Moving in here on the right side. As Cheekin centers it across, it's intercepted. And run out by Jeff Parker. Parker over the Soviet line. Puck knocked away from him. Konstantinov picks it up, and the whistle is sounded on an offside. So Rick Vibe on a power play goal at 12:34 has taken Buffalo to a 3-1 lead. Big goal at the stage. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching the Superpower Face-Off Series on Sports Channel America. Back here at Buffalo, the play just underway. I'm James McDonald with Scotty Bowman. Buffalo leads 3-1. They've outshot the Soviets 11-4. And throughout most of this tour by the Soviet teams, they have been the ones with the majority of the shots on goal. There's Fetisov. His shot deflected off the handle of the stick. Comes out in front. Shot wide. Davidoff with a great chance, missed the net. Now Zalapukin comes out of the corner. Housley knocked it off his stick. Davidoff from back of the net. Fired it across the front. Satonov held it in for Zalapukin. Housley all over him. Plays a little more physical now. Housley knocks Zalapukin down. Davidoff puts it in the corner. Kluche comes out of the net to move it up the boards to Shepard. He dumps it to center. The crowd reacting. It's been good action. Call it an exhibition, if you will, or a goodwill tour, or whatever, but they've come to play tonight. Watcher takes it away from Davidoff. Moved it up the boards. It's intercepted, however. Larry Ernoff gets knocked down, and there'll be a penalty for holding on Priestley. 5.5 minutes to play in the opening period. Buffalo up 3-1. You're watching the Superpower Series on Sports Channel.
Good chance for the Soviets. Watch this drop pass. Fetisov lets it go. I think it's Bikov that just about tips it. There's the tip right there over the top of the net. A real good scoring chance, and they came back and really jammed the net. But this was a good play by Housley to get back and knock the puck. I think it was off of Davidoff's stick.
And now Priestley has gone to the penalty box for holding. The Soviets took a 1-0 lead earlier in the period on a power play goal by Nemchinov. Lazarov plays it deep into the Buffalo zone. Ella Johansson rings it around the boards off Ruutu's stick. Satonov back on the Soviet defense. Takes the pass here on the right side. Larry Ernoff moves up the middle of the ice. Now peels from the left wing to take the pass. Comes over the line, but it's offside. Very unusual. Very, very seldom do you see the Central Red Army team go offside, but especially on a power play.
Nemchinov replacing the great Krutov, who was injured in the Pittsburgh game, did not play against Hartford. And generally the Soviets do not juggle players on a power play. They'll go with a set line and the defense partners. And that's why their defensemen are so good offensively. They don't have any defenseman that really can't handle the puck.
And a quick look at the bench as Viktor Tikhonov takes Guzarov off the ice. Makarov is out there. Fetisov and Starikov are now the defense combination. They must be tuned into you, Scotty. Nemchinov with the puck at center ice. Pulling to the left side. It's knocked off his stick. He plays it toward the corner finally. Nancy moved it up, and Ruutu dumps it down into the Soviet zone. Lashimov steered it off to the right side for Fetisov. Over the line of the pass now, Makarov. Makarov centers. Kanievsky chased to the corner. Puts one back in the net. It bounced away from Larry Ernoff. Larry Ernoff gets it again. Has taken off the puck, however. And it's played up the boards and on into the center ice area. Right to Galashimov and back in. A short-handed goal. Right to the net. The puck bounces off of him by Galashimov, and it's 4-1.
What a careless play, though, by the goaltender. I often wonder if they make goaltending changes, but this is an amazing goal. A short-handed goal for Lindy Ruff. There's the puck trickling down, and Fetisov's the defenseman trying to get back. And finally, the goalie plays it. It hits Ruff and goes in and makes it 4-1. So the Sabres have really come alive here. They scored 3 goals in 4 minutes, and here's another angle on it. Fetisov sort of nonchalant a little bit, but the goaltender making a dreadful play to put the Sabres up by 3.
Gerasimov is from Spartak Moscow. He does not normally play for the Central Red Army team. It's his 6th season in the Elite League. He did play in the 1983 World Champion Junior team from the Soviet Union. Was highly respected at that time, but has given up 4 first-period goals. Makes a stick save there, but the whistle had sounded. Ruff's goal is scored at 15:46. There is still 24 seconds remaining on the clock here. The penalty call against Priestley.
I think it was important, though, Buffalo, after the classic goal the Soviet Union scored to make it 1-0, they came back in a little less than 25 seconds on the Foligno goal, and then they scored a minute and a half later. A young team acquired a lot of confidence in that 2-minute span.
Live on a power play, Ruff on a shorthanded goal. The Sabres up 4-1. Omatov bringing the puck up the middle of the ice. Andrei Omatov dumps it in wide. Luce puts it in the corner. Turgeon got tied up in the play. And the movement back. Kasatonov shot is blocked by Pierre Turgeon. It went right through the skates of Bikov here on the right side. Watcher bumps him. The puck goes back to the net for Omatov. Out to Bikov. And it's stolen and brought out by Priestley. And Priestley down the left side. Centers one across, just out of the reach of Foligno. Back comes Housley for Buffalo. Bill Housley across the Soviet line. Not pick up the puck again, however. Kasatonov plays it to the left side. It's loose in the Buffalo zone. Homakov picked it up and shot it, but now the whistle sounds. They're ruling the puck was knocked down with a stick raised over the shoulder level. 3 minutes remaining in the opening period. Moved right into the Soviet zone following the face-off. Now the puck cleared out by Biakin. Larry Playfair back. And it was turned over and off Luce and just wide of the net. Chavira out for his first shift, I believe, got that shot away. And the Soviets are now forced back into their own zone. Konstantinov played it up the left wing. Now back to Malakoff in this left wing corner. Vladimir Malakoff over Len Koschekin on the left side. Mike Ramsey just sort of carelessly turned the puck over on the far side of the ice and was tipped up into the crowd.
Really have to watch those turnovers. That was one that shouldn't have really occurred. But we saw the speed of Chibirnev as he got by Housley and got a good shot away that just trickled by the goaltender. And boy, it's amazing. This turnover. There's Housley. He can't handle it. Finally, the puck trickles by Cloutier, but just goes by the post about 6 inches.
Close call. 12-6 are shots on goal. Buffalo leading in that department as well. Certainly Victor Tikhonov has to be thinking back to that night. And Scotty Bowman's coaching took the Sabres to a 6-1 win. That shot hit Ramsey. Now loose in front, they score! Chernik moving in, and it's 4-2. Ramsey shaken up after the shot had hit him. The puck came loose, and the Soviets seized the opportunity.
Talk about the turnovers about 10 seconds ago, and you saw that shot as Ramsey getting a little careless, but boy, the Soviets struck fast here. The puck seemed to have eyes, and I think you'll watch it come by here. They should have had it out. Arneal's against the boards. Ramsey goes down possibly to handle it. He does it, and here it comes right here, boy, right in the top corner. What a shot.
Alexander Chernik gets the goal at 18:06. It's 4-2. Buffalo leading the Central Red Army team. Tisov from back of his goal starts out. Long shot, bad save by Cloutier, and Ramsey moves it up the boards.
You know, they once had a game here in the 70s, 12-6 Buffalo against the Soviet Wings team, so we're right on target. 6 goals in 1 period.
Yeah, we're headed in that direction, all right. Minute and a half remaining in the first period of the final game in this tour. Bill Housley moved the puck out to Pierre Turgeon. Dumps it into the Soviet zone. Kasatonov with it down. Alexei Kasatonov to Davidov from an off his stick to Fetisov. Back to Davidov. Shoots one from the line. A weak shot. Luce puts it in the corner. There's Foligno. Now to Housley. Missed Godley with that pass. Niemchov, who has just come out on a player change, moved it up. Here's Makarov over the line. Makarov, look at the puck handling demonstration of Makarov.
Soviets were fortunate, though. NHL rules, that should have been a penalty. Too many men on the ice. Fetisov was lazy getting to the bench.
Soviets move out of their own zone. Makarov down the right side, or Nemchov rather. His pass to Makarov went behind him. Nemchov with it again. Bumped in the corner. The Soviets get the puck again. Makarov backhanded one. It's back in. Tipped off the stick of Kasatonov, I believe, who was crossing through in front. And all of a sudden, it's only a one-goal lead for the Buffalo Sabres.
Nemchov in the corner showed great strength, but a great play by Makarov as he waited and waited. And this is the thing we talked about, defenseman moving in. Number 6, Kasatonov, comes right in here. He doesn't stop it. He can't. He just deflects it right by the surprise Cloutier. And two, actually, Nemchov was going to the front as well. But what a play by Makarov to really find that loose defenseman. That's what we talked about, Jakes. You can't handle those defensemen that come in, in the last minute of play. He's 10 feet from the goal.
Unbelievable. Buffalo had a 4-1 lead on goals by Foligno, Holm, 5, and Ruff. And now the puck shot in on an offside. 21 seconds left in the period. Alexei Kasatonov gets the goal. Makarov will get one assist. And the man that Scotty talked about, who made it all possible, Nemchov, gets the other.
There are some pluses about a small rink as well, Jakes. You see that Soviet offense, they can get closer to the net on quick plays, so they seem to have adjusted to this building in the last 5 minutes.
Certainly adjusted to something. Maybe they thought it was an 8 o'clock game. Here they come, 2-on-1 with 8 seconds left. Look out, the pass to Larionov, tipped neatly in front of the net. Good play by Doug Bodger. The Soviets were home free. The horn sounds, ending a wide open first period of hockey. Milashimov headed for the dressing room. He appeared to be in trouble. He was down 4-1, then all of a sudden his teammates pick up the pace. And the Buffalo Sabres were reeling as the period came to a close. We talked about the shots on goal earlier. Well, the period ends with only a 2-shot difference. Buffalo having outshot the Soviets.
Problems with his health. And, the strange thing about that draft, though, the player that we were going to take at that time was a player by the name of Todd Struby. And he was selected by Edmonton on a 29th pick. He never played in the NHL as well. So I never really felt at the time, when you get down to the low part of that first round, if you ever could get one, Dudacek at the time was a world-class player, rated about the best in the world. But health problems, they wouldn't let him go when he was healthy, and then he became sick. And, of course, he's out of hockey. But the Sabres did draft Alexander Moligny this year. He scored 3 goals in 7 minutes in the World Championships, in the Junior Championships in Anchorage, Alaska. So I don't know if you'll ever get him, but a high
next round. And there were some selections later on down the line as well. I think a total of 11 Soviets. Dmitry Gristich was the young man that was selected by Washington in the sixth round after McGillney had been selected. Kamensky, who we've watched tonight, selected by Quebec in the 8th round. There were 2 more in the 10th, 3 in the 11th, and 3 in the 12th round. Now, can you translate that, Mr. Bowman?
Well, I don't know if we're in the Soviet Union or not, but we've got a lot of these kind of signs, and we have no idea what they're saying. Only the people that put them up.
I think some of the university students have been hard at work today. All set for the second period. Buffalo leading by a score of 4-3 as the draw went back to Johansson. Ramsey moved it up the left side. Donnelly has put it down in the Soviet zone, and that's the Tisov with it. Rutu, forechecking, knocked it away from the Nemchov, who picks it up now, comes over center ice. And Makarov with him, the Nemchov moving in. Turned on Ramsey, and Rutu picked him up. The puck comes back to Starnikov for a shot. Wide of the Buffalo goal. Got Luce in the nets tonight. Makarov brings it out of the corner. Fetisov goes in toward the front of the net, then backs away. And the pass along the boards was picked up and cleared by 5. Went right back to Ramsey, now to Rutu. Christian Rutu gives it to Scott Arneal. Across to the near side. Johansson moves it through center. Couldn't get it to Rutu. Starnikov's pass. Kamensky knocked down at the Buffalo blue line. And here's Rick 5. Got it wide. Milnikov leaves it for Fetisov. Vyacheslav Fetisov. Holmatov, Fetisov. Like those short passes. That one was blocked. Now Kamensky unloads, and Housley blocked it in front. Fetisov shot one off the side of the net. Housley takes it away from Holmatov and shot it off his own goal. Housley gets double teamed. The Soviet center, they tied it up. Out in front quickly to Vikov, and it's 4-4.
Well, the Soviets come out smoking in this second period, and we saw Nemchov make a good play along the boards earlier, but Fetisov made this rush, nearly scored. Housley couldn't handle the puck. Here's Fetisov, and the puck will come back to him as he's going to a line change. He sort of slides over here. He just throws it at the goal. It misses the net. Housley's trying to handle it, and finally, Bykov, number 19's in front all alone, and he roofs this shot. Boy, right in the top corner. 4-4.
So quick. Bykov's 5th goal of the series. He leads all Soviets in scoring. And that's Bykov moving it from back to his own goal. Kamensky down the left side. Kamensky, a right-hand shot, centered one into his shot wide by Homatov. Kamensky knocks it down back of the net. It's checked by Hogue. Benoit Hogue played it up the board. Bykov got to it. Bykov turns, pulls it back into his skates, kept it on the stick for the pass to Homatov. It's broken up and cleared out by the Sabres. Back forward is Kasatonov. Guzarov up the near side. Kamensky failed to pick up the puck. Housley will go back.
Number 15, Andrei Homatov. And number 13, Valeri Kretinsky.
Homatov and Kamensky got the assists on the goal by Bykov at 1:16 of the second period.
It's been a story of Sabres season. The confidence level goes up and down. They were so confident when it's 4-1. Those 2 goals at the end of the first period seems to have shaken them a little bit. They have to settle down.
Now the Soviets trying to move out. Kasatonov got checked. Metcalf centered one. Shepard couldn't knock it out of the air. Priestley fires it off the pads of Vildikov. Picked up by Nalakov. Turned over at center. Shepard waits at the blue line. Now backhands it in. Nalakov goes back on the Soviet defense. He is number 7, teamed up with Konstantinov. When the series began, this young number 16 defenseman, Konstantinov, was playing regularly with Fetisov. Ramsey back in his own zone. Sabres come to center. Here's Shepard over the line. Finds some room. Comes right in. He shoots the one wide on the glove side of Vildikov. Got up by Zelepukin. Down right wing. Zelepukin cuts to the left side. Centered it back, and it's cleared by the Buffalo defense. Diakin puts it behind the net. The Sabres trying to tie up Chernik in front. Now Shepard gets some help as Ramsey clears the zone, and Fetisov drops back. Fetisov to Shabirov. Shabirov into the center ice area. Plays it into the Buffalo zone. Fetisov comes in off the wing. Shoots. Good stop by Kluche. Fetisov tied up back in the net by Mike Ramsey, rather. Here's Fetisov getting away from Shepard. Look at this. Fetisov to puck control. Nobody can catch him. Nobody can check him. Fetisov putting on a one-man demonstration. Then he gave it to his teammate, and it's knocked off the stick of Chikin, who has to go back to recover. Some display. And now the Soviets bumped as they tried to move into the Buffalo zone. The play broken up, and Rutu can't handle it at center ice. Rick 5 does. 5 pulled it in around Larry Arnoff, and then Fetisov took him off his skates.
Doing it all, but the Soviets have got too much of this puck for the Sabres' liking. They've got to get some attack going because they're just defending all the second periods.
Arneal centers, 5 shot goes wide. Playfair started in. It's picked up, however, brought out by Starikov. Sergei Starikov putting it in the Buffalo end of the ice. Kalle Johansson picks it up back of the net. Turned it over to Makarov. Centers it out in front. Here's Larry Arnoff. Turns. Beats the blue line. Guzarov with a shot. Glove save. And Kluche holds on to it. They're 4 minutes and 40 seconds into the second. Auditorium have been treated to some display. 7 goals in that first period. The Soviets taking control of the game here in the second, tying it up. Now Guzarov shot goes wide. Sabres moving up through center ice. Down into the Soviet Union zone. Guzarov back. Nemchinov takes it back to the net. Now to Kasatonov. Alexei Kasatonov. Nemchinov comes over the line. Drops it to Makarov. Makarov in on the left side. Gets Housley turning. Centered one out. It's tipped by Turgeon. Konstantinov on defense. Into Makarov. Makarov got bumped and taken down by Doug Bodger. Bill Housley plays it to right wing to Foligno. Into the center ice zone to Turgeon. It's over the line. The puck knocked off his stick. Foligno has it. His drop pass broken up neatly by Makarov. Makarov to Larry Arnoff. Kamensky out to join this line. Larry Arnoff shot blocked. The rebound. Makarov can't get it in. Back of the net. It's Johansson playing it to the left side for Rupp. Lindy Rupp dumps it in from center ice.
Sabres defense, though, have not played the body at all against these speedy forwards. You know, they've got a good offensive defense for it, but they've got to play better in their own end.
Now they get that opportunity. Parker's shot turned aside by Milnikov. Here's Kamensky at center ice. Kamensky chased to the corner. Playfair takes him back of the net. Wrestles him to the ice. No penalty call. The puck turned over. Larry Ernoff shot is blocked. Luce down. They bang at it. It ends up in the far corner for Ruff. Lindy Ruff to Parker. Puts it in the Soviet zone. Milnikov steers it aside. Malikov moves it out of the zone. Sabres trying to get back in. Can't do it. Delayed offside, in effect, here now is called with 13 and a half minutes remaining in the second period. The clock continued to run for a couple of moments. You're watching the NHL Soviet Union on the Superpower Series.
Playfair all over Kamensky here. Fortunately didn't get a penalty. Throws him to the ice, but the good chance comes to Larry Ernoff. He's right in the slot area. Here it is right here. He lets it go, and Cloutier makes another good save.
Larry Ernoff still looking for his first goal in this series. Kamensky, interestingly, is out there on that line with Makarov and Larry Ernoff. This is Zalapukin. Larry Zalapukin taken to the ice by Mike Ramsey. Davidoff moves into the puck. I'll get some help in the form of Chernik. Went to center one. Comes out in front of the net. Grabbed by Cloutier, and there's no further play. Rick Vine having words with one of the Soviets. It's Fetisov, the big defenseman.
They're strong, though. Mike Ramsey's one of the stronger defensemen in the league. When he's in the corner, he plays the body. We saw he was all over with the Soviet forward.
11 if you're opposed. 1-900-300-6312. Again, there is a 75-cent per call charge to decide whether or not you'd like to see the Stanley Cup champs against the Soviets or a European team for a world title. We'll have the results following the game tonight on Sports Nightly. 4-4 is the score in Buffalo. Satonov from back of the net. Plays it up the wing, out of the reach of Biakin. Christian Rutu recovers and dumps it right back in again. It was knocked down by Gusarov across to the right side. And shot into the Buffalo zone by Koschekin. Luce banks it off the glass to Ramsey to the line. Gusarov held it in. Plays it behind the net. Luce gives it to Housley. He and Ramsey were there together. Now Housley finds some room and starts out. Minnesota native comes over the Soviet line with a pass to Turgeon. Trying to cut in, and his shot went wide. Foligno has just come out on a player change. Chases it to the corner. Foligno goes back to the net now. Tries a wraparound that won't go. Foligno battles for the puck. Out it to Turgeon. Turgeon checked by Gusarov. Foligno right in to take the body. Turgeon trying to control the puck. Gusarov all over him. Turgeon goes back to the net, right into Kasatonov, and it's moved up the boards. Yemchinov is down on the ice. He has been shaken up. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching the Superpower Face-Off Series. Yemchinov coming back to the Soviet bench. Let's see what happened in the Soviet zone.
There's Donnelly coming in. It's Donnelly's stick that strikes the Yemchinov right in the face area. He goes down. Fortunately, McCreary was on the other side and didn't see it. Donnelly was also caught a little bit, so it must have happened previous to that.
The Soviets have a trainer. You saw the doctor momentarily working on him at the bench. They also have a psychologist traveling with the team. There are several people whose duties we do not know officially, but they are regarded as very important on this tour. I guess you could read between the lines, huh?
And they're always with the players.
Always. Mentioned in the first period, the players will not go home until Thursday night. They'll leave from Washington. Remember a story a few years ago that we'll try and relate later on. Davidoff with the puck here. Dumps it in deeper. Housley gets to it and starts out. A few seasons ago, after one of these Superpower series, when they went to go home, Aeroflot decided that they had too much luggage. It was overweight. They asked the National Hockey League to foot the bill for the excess baggage. The league said no. The Soviets came up with enough rubles, finally, to get the jeans and the stereos and the records and everything else back home.
That's when they left Washington. That's right.
Now Starikov at center ice. to Bekoff, and it's offside as they move into the Buffalo end of the ice.
Melnikov does not stop a lot of shots that are thrown around the boards. If the Sabres want to get some pressure in the Soviet zone, throw them along the sideboards and get around behind the net, because sometimes he doesn't come out. He was fortunate there to hit a bad bounce and stay behind the net, but they have always been reluctant to come out and play pucks behind the net.
Now he watches they make a change. Bekoff comes in to take the face-off. Kamensky is on the left side. Omatov over on right wing, so Tikhonov is coaching like Scotty Bowman used to. He is shaking up his line, juggling a lot of people tonight. Some of that, of course, because of injury. The game is tied midway through the second period. It's 4-4 at Buffalo as Bekoff handles the puck outside the blue line. Omatov with it now. Were you the first that you recall to do all what? Look out, here's Tsesov moving in, the puck knocked away, and Shepard clears the zone. I was going to ask, were you the first that did all that juggling of lines, Scotty?
No, it's long before me. I'm not going to take the blame for that one.
Broadcaster's nightmare, coaches like you, Armour, and some of the great ones. Omatov centering it back, but Tsesov put it right between Kamensky's skates. Larry Kamensky having a little nap in the Buffalo end of the ice.
Melnikov's been resting this first 10 minutes. He's hardly had a shot.
2 shots for the Sabres, that's all. Now both teams in the middle of player changes. Now Satonov gave it to Zelepukin into the center ice zone. Puck ends up in the Buffalo territory. Mike Ramsey dumps it down the boards. They rule the Soviets could have played it. As Satonov does. Holt comes in to forecheck. Chernik turns, heads up the middle. Pass instead goes to Guzarov this time. And he dumps it down the ice. Ramsey is back. Mike Ramsey trying to move it out of the zone. Hit Parker, ends up in the corner. Here's Zelepukin walking out of the corner to the backhander. Kluche the save, and there's no further play. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching the Super Public. Well, there's a goaltending change. You look at Jacques Kluche at the Buffalo bench. He's replaced now by Darren Pupa at the 11-11 mark. He just came up with a big save off Zelepukin right here.
2-on-1. Ramsey went to the other side, and Kluche was able to handle Zelepukin on a backhand shot. A lot of turnovers by the Sabres defensemen. But now with the goalie change, I'm sure that Ted Sater maybe had this in mind, depending on what kind of a game it was, felt that Kluche's had enough work tonight, give some work to Pupa. His last start was in New Jersey, played only the first 2 periods, and was relieved by Kluche in that 5-4 loss last Friday, and then Kluche won the game in Toronto.
So Darren Pupa gets an opportunity to warm up before the puck is put in play again. The Soviets just standing around, and at the bench you have a look at Viktor Tikhonov. He's 58 years of age now. He played for 11 seasons in Moscow with the Dynamo Club. Do you know that his wife is an attorney, Tatiana? He has a son, Vasily, as well, who plays for a second division team in the Soviet Union. Victor had not won a major tournament from 1986 until the Soviets won the gold medal in Calgary in February of '88.
There's a great Soviet player beside him, now the assistant coach, Boris Mikhailov, who wore number 13. Tikkanen smiles and the other guy chuckles.
There are a few more smiles from Victor these days. I mentioned earlier.
Well, the pressure's off. That's right. He's coached so long, but there was a lot of pressure on him. Had a couple of bad years. Lost the World Championship one year.
Smiles and chuckles.
Of course, lost the Olympics in 1980 as well. That was very lost to the United States.
And back in our studio tonight was a very big part of that, Mike Urizioni. I'm Jakes McDonald with Scotty Bowman here at Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. 4-4 is the score. Buffalo led 4-1 at one time, and now the cross-ice pass. Zelepukin moves in, shoots it, and went wide. Zelepukin has had a couple of big chances to get this lead back to the Soviets. They had led 1-0 early in this hockey game. Now the Sabres. Benoit Hogue made it to the right side. Anderson putting it in the Soviet zone. Satonov got knocked off the puck. Guzarov is right there. Guzarov is the one Soviet player who has the largest collection of hockey pucks. All the players on this team, everywhere he goes, he has to get another puck. Housley let it go to the corner. Played back of the net for Parker. To the left side for Rutu. Centered one. It's grabbed and held by the goaltender Melnikov. College basketball excitement in your area.
Soviets got a little careless in their own end. Parker was 1 against 4, came up with a loose puck. Housley went right to the front of the net the way Kasatonov scored in the first period and just about tipped it in.
They have the fourth line up now for Central Red Army. And they move the puck smartly. Koschikin comes in, is taken off the puck. There'll be a penalty. Roger taking a man down. The referee, Bill McCreary, spotted something else.
I think it's on Housley for tripping. It was a 2-on-2. Housley lost the puck just outside the Soviet line, and Bodger handled his man well, but Housley's in for tripping.
So the Soviets have an opportunity now on the power play.
Housley, 2 minutes for tripping.
May have a hold of him right there. Yes, there. It would have. Well, Housley was actually caught. It would have been a 2-on-1.
So on the night, this will be the third power play for the Soviets. You look at Phil Housley in the penalty box.
Leads the Sabres in shots on goal for a defenseman, 109 in just 42 games.
Wow. Kamensky gets the puck back to Starikov. Ramsey ran into him, sent him flying. Soviets keep it in the Buffalo zone, however. Larry Ernov sets up back of the net. Larry Ernov centered one. It's tipped under Puka. Comes right back into the pads and play is called. Makarov complaining that the puck was still loose when the whistle sounded.
But they're so great at the decoy playing. You see Larionov, they seem to be looking out at the blue line. They're going for a play right at the goal crease. I think it was Kamensky was there, and his stick was on the ice, and here's Larionov. He tips it, and Pupa makes the save, doesn't know where it is. It's able to be scrambled under him, but that's what the Soviets do so well. They decoy and decoy and decoy, but that forward, Kamensky, should not be allowed to stand there that long. Otherwise, he's going to tip one in like he did.
If they were to come back to play tomorrow night, they'd get one pretty good probably. Maybe even later in this period. Kamensky plays the puck back to Starikov, went rink wide to Fetisov. Now to Larry Ernov. To Starikov. In along the boards, this is Kamensky. Centers it across, that's Fetisov with it now to Larry Ernov. Finds some opening, moves right in, gives it to Fetisov, and he's beaten by Pupa. Good stop by Pupa as Fetisov blasted off the right wing.
But it's hard to believe Larionov is right down the slot area. We see why he hasn't scored a goal in this series, although he's a great playmaker. He should have shot that puck.
Yes, he should have, and he's over the line again. Plays it to Fetisov, drops it back to Makarov. Makarov moves in, pulls up, gave it to Fetisov. Box defense set up, Hogue moved over on Fetisov. Fetisov, constant motion. Now he comes back toward the blue line. Went rink wide to Kamensky to Starikov. Into Kamensky to Starikov on the left wing boards. Turns, plays it in off Larry Ernov. Here's Kamensky centering. It's under Bodger. Oh, it's scooped out of the goal mouth. What a stop by Pupa. The Soviets set up again. Makarov to Fetisov. Over it goes to Starikov. Back to the blue line. Fetisov fires one. Pupa pad save, and Hogue gets to the rebound. Flips it ahead to Parker, who's cleared it to center. 18 seconds left in Housley's tripping penalty, and the crowd reacts to the play of the Buffalo defense.
Great saves by Pupa, though, having to read to anticipate the play, but the Soviets worked it perfect and ended up with a 2-on-1 at the goal mouth.
Now Bikov drops it back. Fetisov comes over center ice. He's blocked a lot of ice time tonight. Puts it deep in the Buffalo zone. Teams are at 6 aside again, and Foligno picks up the puck for the Sabres. His pass went off Turgeon's skates. Turgeon plays it away from Kasatonov. Housley in the Sabres, in the Soviet zone, I should say, was knocked down. Davidoff with the puck at center ice. He's across the line, stick handling, runs into traffic. Bodger knocks it outside the blue line. Now the Soviets set up again. Homatov cuts to right wing. The pass up the boards was there for him. He chases it into the Buffalo zone. Homatov with some speed. Gets checked as he went back of the net as Turgeon was right with him. Now it's Bodger trying the left side. The pass out of the reach of his teammate. Not too far ahead of Mike Donnelly, and Kasatonov goes back. Gave it to Gusarov. Gusarov tries the right side. That's Homatov open. Miakin moves into the center ice zone, as does Bikov. Homatov carrying the puck now, dumps it in. Pupa moves out of the net. All three Soviet players went into forecheck. Gusarov here at the left point works the puck in a little deeper. Bikov gets knocked down back of the net. Sabres moving around to Shepard, and he's been able to clear the zone. 4 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the second period. They've had only the one goal scored, then by Beekhoff, back at 1:16 to tie it. 4-4. Malakov knocked it back in. Homatov tries the right side. Slipped in by Diakin and cleared right back out again. Ray Shepard put it in the Soviet zone. Malakov went to the right side. This is Chernik. He's Zalapukin and Diakin move over the line. Chernik goes to the corner, rounds the net with it. Chernik feeds the blue line. Konstantinov shot. The rebound. Puka got in front of Zalapukin's drive. Konstantinov at the blue line. Lays it into the corner. Zalapukin gets bumped. Shepard battling for it, but off Konstantinov, and now it's cleared out into center ice.
Playing that funny game, the Soviets, Jake. There's one puck, and they've got it all night, especially this second period.
And now the Sabres take over, but are offside as they moved into the Soviet end of the ice. 3.5 minutes remaining in the second period. We've been treated to a dandy again tonight at Memorial Auditorium as the Soviets and the National Hockey League complete the series, and you're watching it right here on Sports Channel. Draw, the Sabres moved into the Soviet zone. Rutu took a dive. There is no call in the play. Koscheikov comes back. Back to the right side, and Davidov, he got rubbed out on the boards. Housley moves it to Rutu. Put it in the middle. Zverev was there and was stripped of the puck. Now Housley runs into Koscheikov at center ice. Roger shot one high off the glass. Stays in play. Comes back into Fetisov. Arneal picked him up, stole the puck. Couldn't get a shot away. And there's another rarity to see Fetisov have a cross-ice pass intercepted like that. The Soviets and the Buffalo Sabres are tied 4-4. Sabres haven't been able to generate anything this period until just a moment ago. And here's Arneal handling the puck. Scott Arneal centered. Fetisov got that play and then lost it to Housley. Housley a wraparound. Here's five. Centered it between the skates of Arneal. Housley gets to it. Bill Housley down on one knee, and his pass cut off by Starikov. He plays it out of the zone. Back comes five.
Well, the crowd's buzzing, and that's something the Sabres have to do. Is we see the Soviets in their end are not much better than the Sabres, but haven't been able to be in there enough. The Sabres should take some confidence on this one.
Now Buffalo moves in offside. 4-4 is the score. You're watching the Superpower Series on Sports Channel. European style of hockey. You saw him talking to his troops at the Buffalo bench.
It was Christian Rudu to try to get that one up the middle. It was intercepted, and that's one thing against the Soviets in the neutral zone. Stay away from the middle.
Now Ruff plays it behind the net. Parker in after. Jeff Parker centers off Starikov skates, or Kasatonov skates, excuse me. Lindy Ruff reaches in. Got the puck to Hogue. To Parker. Coming in off the blue line is Anderson. He's taken off the puck by Kasatonov. Israel holds it against the boards. Bill McCreary can see the puck. It's still in play. What a battle for it on the end boards. Out in front, Ruff was knocked down. He gets up complaining. Meantime, Anderson is pushing. He and Kasatonov. Diakin is having words with Ruff. Benoit Hogue is in pushing and shoving.
Well, certainly 25, Diakin and Ruff, they turns knocking each other down in front of the net. But the referee was concentrating on the play. As you know, in the National League, Jigs, they don't call those plays around that are on the boards. Now, they don't blow that quick whistle. And sometimes I think it causes further problems. But he let it go and let it go. Here it is right now. They're milling and milling. And there's 22. There's Ruff. Well, it was actually the defenseman, I think, it was Larry Anoff that Ruff knocked down, and then finally 25 Diakin knocked Ruff down, but face-off coming outside.
They got the puck just outside the Soviet blue line. Here's Diakin back on the bench. Viktor Tikhonov very animated in his discussion now with his team. The two of you ever talk after having coached against one another, Scotty?
With an interpreter, that's the difficult part, that he doesn't speak English, I don't speak Russian, and, we talk a bit with signs. I saw him coming in tonight, and he was pointing to my crest, wondering what team I was with. I said, no, I had to look and show him the television set. I said, that's where I am.
Hey, caught on immediately. I was interested, too, the way Mikhailov came right over to talk to you. I certainly remember Scotty Bowman, I would think, from a lot of coaching experiences, Primarily, maybe that would it be New Year's Eve in Montreal, that great 3-3 tie?
Yeah, he scored one of the 3 goals. He was a real star also in that Challenge Cup. He just about buried us in the second game.
Well, that was a series at Madison Square Garden, in 80?
Yep.
79, I guess it was. Bikov over the line, dumped it in. Johansson in. As they go back in the net, Turgeon trying to tie up Kamensky. The puck goes to Homatov. Put one in front of the goal, steered aside by Pupa. Out it up to Mike Foligno. Foligno out into the center right zone. Johansson plays it rink wide. And there is Starikov with the Soviet defense. Up to Bikov. Dropped it back. And quick shot blocked by Pupa. Homatov got it up high on the blocking club side. And now the Sabres come to center. Rutu with the puck. The pass to the right side to Housley. Housley looks for help. Out of across to Arneal, and it's broken up. Out come the Soviets. Kamensky to Fetisov. He's offside. We talked early tonight about how the Soviets very rarely go offside. Either the offside pass or in that case getting ahead of the puck carrier at the blue line, but they've done it.
Where they really make it tough too, though, Jakes, is because of the defense getting involved in the attack. When you're in your own end, they get you running around. We saw a classic example. I guess it's the confidence factor that they can get back with the speed. They have an awful lot of patience. It's amazing. It looks like they're going to take a shot, and they'll wait and wait until somebody gets in a better position. They move the puck.
And we're going to get an opportunity to watch more of it. There's still the third period to go. This game is tied at 4, and the Challenge Cup, the Sports Channel Friendship Cup is on the line. The Challenge Cup, of course, was 79. And now some jostling. Linesman Ron Finn got between the two players. They're still shoulder to shoulder in the center ice area. Ron Finn pushing Rutu away, directing him toward the dressing room. Zelapukin right over at Rutu.
Well, he challenged Kasatonov initially, I think, and there was talk that Kasatonov, if there is a Soviet that doesn't like the extra aggressive play, it's Kasatonov. People that played in the Canada Cup always remarked about that.
Well, the two teams climbing off toward the dressing room areas now with a 4-4 tie up on the board, and the Soviets getting the only goal of that second period to tie it. So with the Friendship Cup still on the line here, if the game should end in a tie, the Soviets would win it. Buffalo, all the Sabres need to do is win the game, then the NHL would receive the Friendship Cup as provided by Sports Channel. And if the Soviets win the Sports Channel America Friendship Cup on the line as the puck went back to Ramsey. The right side and shot in by Johansson. Starnikov with it, back to the Soviet goal. Comes back to the point, Johansson with it. That's one fly, then put high and wide of the net. Makarov here on the right side, had it knocked loose. Rutu centers the puck. Johansson blew in, but was knocked away from him by Kozchikhin. Ramsey back to his own goal, lost the puck. Makarov centers, went off the goalpost. What an opportunity for the Soviets. Nemchikov, who was hurt in the second period, now keeps the puck in for Makarov. The corner for Kamensky, centers. That went wide of the net. Nemchikov drops it back. Kozchikhin, who is the other forward on this line. Kozchikhin comes off the boards, gets turned around by Johansson, and the Sabres clear the zone. But again, the Soviets are right there. Makarov is checked. Now Rutu bumped solidly by Fetisov at center ice. High put back after Fetisov. Hold up loss between these two teams. Kamensky picks up the puck. Kamensky trying to go around Housley. Now behind the net, he's knocked off the puck. Bill Housley unable to pick it up. Kamensky does. Turned it over to Turgeon. Up along the boards it goes. Solid hitting by Donnelly as he bumped Bikov. Bikov got it back. Here's Kamensky, and he's checked as he went to the front of the net. Buffalo able to clear it out. There's a lot on the line here in this third period with a 4-4 tie. The Soviets over the line. It's broken up by Turgeon. Now Donnelly's pass from off Kasatonov and intercepted by Bikov in the second effort. Kamensky down the left side. Tried to play it around Housley, and it didn't work. Loose puck. Housley backs it to the boards. Held in by Guzarov. Put it in the corner. Kamensky battling for it. It's picked up by Homatov. Put it out in front, and the player moving in. Bikov was well covered. And long shot kicked aside by Kupa. Picked up by Foligno. Foligno down right wing. Moves it in around Guzarov. The puck knocked loose. Goes right to the front of the net and just wide of Milnikov. One thing you'll notice about Milnikov, Scotty, he stays well back in crease.
Yes, Sabres are making a point, though, of taking the man much more in this start of this third period. They have to because these guys are so slippery.
Now they peel off the boards in the Buffalo zone. The play broken up by Ruff. Chernick got it again. Chernick fires one that's blocked. Here's outside the line. Ruff had a hold of Chernick. Finally, Chernick went down. The Sabres have to chase the puck one more time. 2.5 minutes has ticked off here in the third period. Parker puts the puck in the Soviet zone. Flying it after it was Ruff in center and knocked loose and brought back by Diemtian. Over center ice. The pass to Zelepukin. Zelepukin cuts to the left side, trying to get around Playfair. He's checked at the last second. Zelepukin recovered neatly, put it in the corner. There'll be a penalty call coming up against Buffalo. Fetisov for the shot. Kicked out by Pupa. Brought back in offside. Makarov complaining. Not happy with that call, but the Soviets go to the power play. Jeff Parker gets an interference penalty. This will be the fourth power play for the Soviets.
It was a 3-on-2 on the right side of the screen as the Soviet tries to go around. There's Parker, pulls down. He came back to make it a 3-on-3, but he pulled the guy down as the Soviet was getting ready to shoot.
Killing it off for Buffalo. Ruutu up front along with Arneal. They have Johansson on one side of the defense, Ramsey on the other. Mike Ramsey, of course, very big part of that 1980 U.S. gold medal winning team. The teammate of Mike Eruziones, Kenny Morrow, and so many others that come to mind immediately. Now the Soviets move over the line. Starikov put it back to the net. Ramsey slaps it up the boards away from Fetisov. Will go right to Milnikov. Sergei Milnikov played it off to Sergei Makarov. Here's the captain, stick handling into center ice. Over the line, cuts to the left side. Bikov went to the corner. The pass intercepted and cleared down the ice by Turgeon.
An awfully big lift. The first minute just about gone on this penalty killing. The young Sabre team have to get some confidence. They can get it right now.
Kamensky brings the puck over center ice. Into the Buffalo zone, chased by Foligno. He held it, then turned it over to Mike Foligno, and down the ice it goes. Good checking job. Turgeon and Foligno replaced now by Ruff and Hogue. Coming up is Casatona. Over the line, Bikov played it to Kamensky, took the pass and escapes. Larry Kamensky comes off the boards, leads the blue line to Casatona. Uzerov for the shot, kicked out by Pupa. The rebound is slapped down the ice by Lindy Ruff. 30 seconds to go and Parker's interference penalty. Casatona taking the puck, moved it into center ice. Bikov went to the left side. Here's Homatov handling it down. Homatov drops it back. Casatona for the shot. He scores! Power play goal by the defenseman, Alexei Casatona.
Second of the game. He scored late in the first period. As he moved in, he showed a rocket for a shot. He got in the slot area. It was a Soviet on the other side that knocked down a defenseman. I think it was Kamensky on the other side. But watch this here. Right on the left side. We just missed it. But here's the shot coming in from number 6. He's down in the slot area. And they curl around. And finally the pass comes across. It was Biakin that threw it back, I think. And Kasatonov. They put about 3 shots right in the top corner. And he's just circling around. Here's Biakin. He drops the play back. Gets Hope pulling away. Not much Housley and Bodger can do. And he just blows it by Cooper in the top corner. 5-4 Soviets.
Kasatonov, as Scotty said, is second in this game. That's 3 now during this tour. Or the Central Red Army team for defenseman Alexei Kasatonov. The Soviets have just iced the puck. The announcement now at Kasatonov's goal as you look at number 11, Vigny Davidov. There's the goal scorer along with Makarov on the bench.
It's amazing, how the defense for this Soviet Union continually get in, and they make it so difficult to get in from the standpoint of the Sabres. Johansson had a pretty good chance. All of a sudden, the forward was there to tip it away. So that's been the big difference, is the ability of guys like Fetisov and Kasatonov to get in there and really create scoring chances.
Bikov gets an assist with Homatov on Kasatonov's goal. 5-4, the Soviet Central Red Army team leading the Buffalo Sabres. Ron Finn in a discussion before the puck is dropped. Chernik was complaining about something, and now the Sabres go back in the book of the Soviet goal. They wrap up Chernik. Metcalf is in the forecheck. The puck goes to Shepard. Ray Shepard hooked it out in front. Buffalo player there. Metcalf was pretty well covered, and here's Zalapukin down the left side. He's picked up by Ramsey, then dropped it off, and the shot by Konstantinov is turned aside. Comes back to Molotov. His shot is blocked. Held it in, however, putting it in the corner. Scott Metcalf gets checked. Moving in is Anderson, tying up Zalapukin. Greg Ramsey plays it up the boards. Soviets hold it in and then turn it over, and Ramsey plays it out on the right side to Shepard. Shepard across the line, pulled up on Konstantinov. Got it around behind the net. Yemchinov from Makarov, back to Malakhov. Carries it to center. Shepard knocked it off the stick there. He gets loose. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. And he scores!
Ray Shepard, 38 goals as a rookie a year ago. Not doing it this year, but shows how he can put the puck in the net. A turnover. That was the play. Makarov to the defenseman. He lost the puck right here. I think it was Bakhalov that lost it, and he goes in. First, it looks like he's hesitating. He goes to his forehand and is able to put it right under the pad of the goaltender, Melnikov. And here's the turnover by number 7. Boy, Malakhov really lost it. Here's Shepard now. The goal scorer comes in. He's thinking, take him out, and he did. Goes to his forehand, throws it under him. 5-5.
Shepard unassisted at the 6:03 mark. First Buffalo goal in this game since 1546 of the opening period when the Sabres had taken a 4-1 lead. Now Makarov is knocked down by Rutu. Playfair dumps it into the Soviet zone. That's the Tisov. Rutu gets to him immediately. The puck goes off 5 to Rutu. Turns at the Soviet line. Is picked up on the play now as he goes to the corner. Koschikin all over him. Rutu managed to center it. Playfair got it onto the stick of Arneal. His shot off the shoulder of Melnikov. Loose puck and backhand one off the side of the net. The Tisov dumps it around behind the goal. There'll be a penalty for holding.
Calle Johansson's the saber right in the middle of the screen. He's the decoy, but Scott Arneal, number 9, he gets this shot. He puts it high and hits the shoulder of the goaltender, and finally the penalty for Nemchinov.
It's called at 6:41 of this third period. It's only the second power play opportunity that Buffalo has had tonight. Nazarov rolls the puck against the boards. They'll face it off in the circle to the left of Sergei Melnikov.
Sabres change Housley and Bodger. Housley and Bodger play together, but on the power play, Housley goes on left defense. He tries to put that soft pass across. Bodger can shoot on the pass.
Now following the draw, Kasatonov is able to shoot at the length of the ice. Aaron Pukla leaves it for Phil Housley. Komatov chased him back to the net. Housley pulls away, comes over center ice, cuts to the right across the Soviet blue line, put on the brakes, then dumped it in. Uzerov going after it. Fine gets to the puck. Out of to Turgeon. He couldn't find Rutu as he moved out of the corner. Comes back to Bodger. Over to Housley. Housley tees it up, centers it back, and it's tipped outside the line by Homatov. Bodger now to 5. Right side for Turgeon. Uzerov picks him up. Turgeon trying to complete the play. Centered. It's broken up in front, then turned over off Housley to 5. Runs into the check of Homatov. The puck is outside the line. Bakov plays it to the right wing. Here's Homatov. That's to the left to Bakov. He couldn't pick it up. Rick 5 had it knocked off his stick, but Bodger was right there. 50 seconds left in the Buffalo power play. The game tied 5-5. 12 minutes left in the third period. Rutu puts it back in the net. And it's slapped out of there into the center ice zone by Bakov. Homatov picks it up for Zalapukin, he's checked. And Wahoo comes into the open wing. But after it, Konstantinov picks it up. Steps over the Buffalo line with a quick shot into the pads of Bukva. He left it for Johansson. Sabres start out in the power play. Shepard, who tied the game, has put it high over the glass and up into the seats. 11 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third period.
Really weren't able to generate much. Housley had the best chance. They were guilty of not shooting the puck. That one pass too many, and Soviets so dangerous on this.
Makes sense to vote either yes or no. You see the numbers on your screen. Remember, there is a 75-cent per call charge. We want your opinion whether you would like to see the Stanley Cup champs and the team from probably the Soviet Union decide a world title each year. Chernik in after a puck in his own zone. Shepard got it back to the net to Foligno. The teams are at 6-a-side again. Mike Ramsey dumps one behind the net. Ramsey in after. Chernik had a hold of his stick. Now the puck is cleared down the ice. And Hogue will chase it. Lupo out of the net. Leads it for Hogue. Aronoff went into forecheck. The pass to Foligno. Plays it up the right wing. Now to Hogue. Comes over the line with Shepard. Hogue gets double teamed. Knocked the puck behind the net. Starikov plays it to the right wing side. And the Sabres had an opportunity there, but it hit Hogue. Now comes to the right side. As Chikin leads the puck. Starikov played it to Fatisa. Has turned it over in the center ice area. Lindy Ruff has just come out on a player change. Lost it. Gets it off across the line. Dropped it. A Karov shot steered off the stick of the goalkeeper and up into the seats. At Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. The score is tied 5-5. 10 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the third period of this, the final game of the Superpower Series, 88-89. Kamensky on the left side, Beikoff in the middle, Omatov on right wing for the Soviets. Ruff dumps it in for Buffalo. Went around the boards, got away from Priestley. Kamensky comes up the wing. He gets checked at that point. Loose puck, Beikoff over the line. Can't get it to Homatov, who is wide open. Now Homatov for the shot. Blocked and covered by Pupa. Boy, Homatov just floats in out of nowhere. Nobody picked him up, Scotty. He's wide open.
Looked like Playfair was going to get to the loose puck. He lost it, and finally the forward came across from the other side. Like you mentioned, Homatov came right across. Playfair had this puck all the way. It was his puck, and that extra effort by the Soviet might have put him off stride, and finally it came across him. A good scoring chance, and Pupa again looking very sharp in the nets for Buffalo.
32-19 are the shots on goal in favor of the Soviet Union. They beat the Hartford Whalers on Saturday night, outshot them 29-17 in a 6-3 victory. Central Red Army has outscored the NHL, including tonight's game, 31-22. Dinamo Riga won only twice, and here's a chance for the Soviets. Denied, and 5 starts up. Playing the puck, the blue line. Housley moves it up the wing off 5 sticks. 5 has one of the Buffalo goals. He goes into forecheck, tying up Gusarov. Rick 5 gets some help now as Rutu played it around the boards, but here's Homatov with it. Andrei Homatov went to the left side and played it right back in front of the net. We look at one another up here, you don't expect to see that. And they turn it over. 5 with a backhander that's blocked at the defense. Rick 5 nudges it into Arneal. Goes back to the net to Rutu. Rutu can't find anybody open. Nobody goes to Rutu. Now as they move in, the man taken down is Bodger. There'll be a penalty to the Soviets. Rutu puts it in the corner. Bodger picks it up. Arneal. Scott Arneal is checked on the boards, and play is called. There'll be a hooking penalty to the Soviets coming up. Another power play. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching the Superpower Face-Off Series on Sports Channel America. Homatov in the penalty box for holding at 10:51.
Chernik is the defenseman in front for the Soviets, but Bodger makes it possible. He's doing what the Soviets do well. He came right from his left defense post about 5 feet in front, had to be pulled down.
Third power play of the game for the Buffalo Sabres. They do have a power play goal. That's by 5. 5 is not on the ice at the moment. Turgeon, Shepard, and Foligno up front as Roger brings the puck in. Chernik steps in front of Foligno, and Telepukin goes back for it. They got tied up by Turgeon. They play it around the boards, but right to Housley. Pulling to the right side to Bodger. One times it, that one high and wide. Now Foligno dumps it in. Turgeon, Chernik picked him up as he centered it. Shepard got checked and recovered in time to put it in the corner. Malakoff fires it around the boards and out to center ice. Bodger beats Housley. And Telepukin forechecking for the Soviets as Bodger takes it in the corner. Now to Turgeon. He comes over center ice. Across the Central Red Army blue line. The puck for it is Johansson. 1 minute left in the penalty. Housley is over the line. Housley pulls up on the check. Holds it, dumps it in deeper under the reach of Johansson. Shepard can't get to it. Batista trying to poke it away from Ruff. Does, and dumps it out to center ice, but Johansson is back. He's given it to Sean Anderson. Anderson had a little trouble handling it, and now Johansson plays it up the boards. Oh, what a thumping check as Ruff levels Amsterdam. Meantime, Starikov back for the pass to Makarov. Makarov checked by Lindy Ruff. Back to Hogue. He gives it to Parker for a shot that went wide. Jeff Parker turns in the corner, dropped it back. Anderson shot to a screen, and what a stop by Milnikov. And Hogue puts it in the corner. Here's Ruff. Works it behind the net for Anderson. To Parker, he gets checked. Starikov plays it around the boards. Held in by Johansson. 8 seconds in the power play. That shot blocked. Parker feeds the blue line. Anderson works it in deep. Goes off the glass and over into the seats. 1 second remaining in the penalty.
Guilty of a good turnover for the Sabres. Looked like he was going to get it down. They kept it in. A pretty good scoring chance, but the Sabres defense have not elected to really shoot that puck as hard as they can. Sean Anderson had the good chance just up from Rochester, but it was tipped over the glass.
Now Priestley on this face-off. Won by the Soviets. Kucherov playing it around to Kamensky. Kamensky across the line. The puck knocked away from him. In skates again, and he shot one that was blocked by Johansson. Now out in front, but struck wide off the stick of Mika. Comes back to Kasatonov for the drive. That's tipped and went wide. Ray Shepard picks it up, starts out for Buffalo. Shepard dumps it in. Scott Metcalf chasing it. Kasatonov got to it. He's giving it to Kamensky. Kamensky drops it back into the skates of Mikov. Gets over the Buffalo line. Fires one up high. Just saved by Pupa. Laid the puck to the right side for Shepard. Down to Metcalf. Metcalf flipped it between the defense. Kasatonov got back neatly. Mikov taken into the boards by Priestley at center ice. Moving up with it is Phil Housley. 4 Soviets string out at the blue line. Housley does the smart thing, turns back with the puck. His teammates completed the player change, and now Bodger dumps it in, and 5 races in after it. Rick 5 around Malikov. 5 centers off the skates of Rutu. Picks it up now. Rutu can't get it out in front as Bikoff was with him all the way. Vyacheslav Bikoff cleared the zone. Anderson's effort to put it back in ends up in the penalty box. A little less than 6 minutes to play in the third period. You're watching the Superpower Series exclusively on Sports Channel. Scotty Bowman joining Jinx McDonald and Gary Thorne here. Scotty, what was the first year that you took a team that you coached into a game against the Soviets?
1956 in Ottawa, a great junior team. We thought we really had the rink tilted in our favor. We lost 10-1.
You're kidding. 56?
1956.
I remember seeing them, I think it was 59 in Kitchener with the A.W. Dutchman years ago.
Well, we started playing hockey in the mid-40s.
That's true. They have come a long way. They picked up so much of the North American style, incorporated some of their own things that the National Hockey League players and teams have tried to incorporate as well. I think right now the big thing that impresses everybody is the speed, the puck control, and the fact that they're starting to get some goaltending again. After Tretiak retired, there was a real void. But we've seen the young man, Ribby, with Dino Riga. Milnikov has been very steady, not only here tonight, but throughout most of this series. We're down to 5 minutes remaining in the third period. The score is tied at 5. Remember, if it ends in a tie, the Soviets would win the Sports Channel America Friendship Cup. Foligno over the line with a shot. Stick saved by Milnikov. Amsterdam can't clear it out of the zone. Foligno moved it to Turgeon. Into the corner it goes, off the stick of Donnelly. Turgeon pinched it off the boards, but the Soviet defenseman Starikov is able to clear it out. Well, the Sabres pick it up and start it again. Donnelly works it in on the boards. Starikov plays it around to Bikoff. Bikoff with a pass to Nemchinov. He gets checked at the center ice stripe. Here's Bodger to Turgeon. Turgeon backhands one in, knocked out of the air by Starikov. Sergei Starikov waiting for his teammates to complete a player change, and Bikoff got knocked down. Meantime, Kamensky puts the puck in the Buffalo zone. Kamensky knocked down after the play, got up looking at the Buffalo player as if he was going to go right after him. Did not. Bikoff centers it in front. Now Kamensky in after it. center ice. Lindy Ruff gets to it there. His pass is tipped away from Hogue. Brought over the line by Homaton. Dropped it back. Here's Kasatonov moving right in. Kasatonov can't get it by Pupa. Kasatonov going for his third of the night. The big Soviet defenseman is denied. Housley from back of the goal. Shot it through center ice. They ruled that Gusarov could have played it. Now back he goes. Alapukin has just come out of the player change. Goes to the left side. The pass right on his stick as he picked it up from Chernik. Shot it wide of Pupa. Aaron Pupa checked down. The puck deflected up into the seats. And there's no further play. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in regulation. You're watching the Superpower Series exclusively on Sports Channel America. Getting ready for a face-off in the Buffalo end of the ice. 5-5 is the score. That's Davidoff that you got to look at. He's playing over on the left side. Chernik will take the face-off. Alapukin is on right wing. The Buffalo comes up with the draw. This is Housley working from back of the net, giving it to Doug Bodger. Bodger acquired this season from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Dumps it in. Connor Neal goes in after it. Malakoff could not get to the puck. Here's Ruutu. His shot held by the goaltender Bildikoff after making a glove save. Taken down in the goal mouth area was Rick Five. Sergei Bildikoff played all the games for the Soviets in the Winter Olympics at Calgary. Rick Five started his career in Toronto, moved on. He's been in Chicago, then of course acquired by Buffalo last week. There's Bildikoff. The big guy tonight, though, has been the defenseman Kasatonov, who has scored twice. The 29-year-old, Fetisov's best friend, and been his defense partner. They used to say that he didn't play as well when he wasn't teamed with Fetisov, but they haven't been together all night long, and he has scored 2 goals. Kasatonov, another player drafted by the New Jersey Devils in 1983. He has a wife and a son. And we'll talk hockey by the hour with an interpreter. You may remember that he wore number 7 at Calgary. Wears number 6 regularly for Central Red Army. Makarov fed the puck up. Yemchinov with the pass that's blocked. Over the line comes Starnikov. Pulls up on Ruutu. Centers one. It's grabbed and held by Pupa. And 2 men right in front of the net. Makarov on one side. Yemchinov on another. Turgeon will take the face-off for Buffalo as Coach Ted Sater sends out Foligno as well. The other forward is Donnelly. Yemchinov centering the puck following the draw came right back to him. Yemchinov trying to put it in front of the net. That hit the goal. Mike Ramsey moves it up the boards and Donnelly dumps it out into center ice. Fetisov goes back. He and Starnikov together as they've been all night long. Now Makarov picks up the puck. Makarov trying to cut in off left wing. It's in deep. Centers it from the back of the net. That's steered aside by Pupa. Fetisov taken to the boards. The Sabres moving around to the left side. Johansson getting it to Donnelly. He clears the zone. Makarov has to go back. Makarov with less than 2 minutes to go. Upped it up through center ice. Bodger fell but was able to recover in time to clear it just under the reach of Kamensky. Now Makarov and Kamensky come in together. The play broken up by Bodger. He's given it to Housley. Housley trying to outskate Kamensky. Pulls away from him. Comes over center and dumps it in. Goes wide of the net. Fetisov plays it to the left side for Kamensky. Kamensky. Pass intercepted by Bodger. Now brought right back out again. Kamensky checked by Ruff. Andy Ruff into the zone. Right side to Parker. Parker trying to get around Fetisov as they go to the corner. Now Bakov plays it up the board. A player change. Ramsey comes in, slams into Homatov, but the puck ends up at center. Ruff moves it to Parker, and again Buffalo content to put it in the Soviet zone and now make a player change. Gusarov with the pass off Chernik's stick. Ryan knocked it out of the air. Pokes at it again. It goes to Gusarov. Gusarov plays it to center. A 2-line pass. Offside. Would you believe that? As Davidoff picked it up on his own side of center ice. Scotty, we're down to the final 50 seconds of this third period. Still tied at 5.
Yes, we know we're going into overtime if a goal isn't scored, and of course...
Do you believe what you just saw on your monitor, Scotty? Did you see that second?
Timeout. It doesn't take them long to really get our rules down pat.
They've got this game figured out all right. That's Alexander Chernik going back to the Soviet bench. So the discussion now between all of Soviet hockey. Amazing.
I think, Jake, the loss in 1980 to the U.S. team was one loss in 28 years, 7 Olympic seasons. So that pretty well tells you about this team.
Now they're going to send out a forward line of Chernik, Davidoff, and Zalapukin. We have not seen much of Larry Arnoff here in the third period. Scotty pointed out that he passed up several good shooting opportunities only to move the puck to somebody else. Kind of think maybe he's hurting. He's the smartest player on the team and the smallest as well. Great playmaker, but he's had back problems recently. The puck is cleared high off the glass into the penalty box. 43 seconds remaining in the third period. Let's take a look. Presentation either to the Soviets or to the National Hockey League. And the recipients on behalf of the league would be the Buffalo Sabres. But Buffalo needs to score a goal. That's the only way the NHL can win it now, is to beat the Soviets in this game. If it ends in a tie in overtime, then the Soviets would win. Or, of course, if the Soviets score, then it's automatic. Frank Ramsey brings the puck into center ice. Shoots it around the boards. Rutu goes in after. Got taken down by Chernik. Play allowed to continue. And up the ice comes Zalapukin. Over the Buffalo line. Cuts to the left side. His pass off the stick. Unable to handle it was Davidoff. And Buffalo dumps it into the Soviet zone. Konstantinov just did get it to Starikov. Starikov at center ice, moves it on into the zone offside with 6 seconds left. So it appears that we will go to overtime in this, the final game of the Superpower Series 1988-89. In Hartford, their only loss was at Pittsburgh. And Dinamo Riga, of course, defeated. They started with a tie at Calgary, then were defeated the next night by Edmonton. Vancouver beat them. Dinamo Riga recovered to beat Los Angeles. And they have not been able to win since. And there's the horn ending the third period. Each team with a goal. Sergei Milnikov, who came on at the start of the second period, allows only one goal, and that's the one that ties it at 5. And that was almost 14 minutes ago when Shepard scored. The shots on goal in that third period by the touring Soviet Red Army team, 11. They've had 35 thus far. The Buffalo Sabres had 7 shots on goal in the third period, a total of 22. Kasatonov scored a power play goal from Homatov and Bakov at 4:52. Kasatonov second of this game, third of the series. The Soviets led 5-4, but at 6:03, Shepard stole the puck at the Soviet blue line, went in all alone to beat Milnikov and tied at 5-5. Since then, Buffalo has had 2 power play opportunities, but haven't been able to cash anything in. They're 1 for 3 with the man advantage tonight. And we're getting ready to go to overtime beside the Sports Channel America Friendship Cup. Has publicly said that he would like to be the first athlete from North America to play over there. He says it's not a gimmick. I quote him now. He said, "I'd like to go out of curiosity of their politics, their society, their lifestyle. I've heard people say I'm crazy. I think it would be an 8 to 10 month commitment out of my life, but I paid a lot of commitment in the United States and the Soviet Union and Canada, all of North America, really, and the relationships with the Soviets in the past few years. And certainly, the Soviets, I think, could find a place on their team for a Kevin Lowe, as could the New Jersey Devils for a Fetisov, Kasatonov. Vancouver hoping to have Larionov. Buffalo certainly would like to have Mogilny. Kamensky would be welcome in Quebec. So many teams in the National Hockey League now drafting Soviet players. And we're ready for overtime. If Buffalo scores, the National Hockey League receives that trophy. If nobody scores, or if the Soviets score, then the trophy goes to Moscow with the Central Red Army squad. Fetisov handling the puck following the face-off to Makarov. Comes in over the line. It's knocked away from him and picked up by Housley. He rounds the Buffalo net. Housley dumps it out through center ice. Turgeon races into the Soviet zone to get a stick on it, then played it wide. Yemchinov is back. He's bumped solidly by Donnelly. Here's Foligno trying to get it out in front of the net. Here to the side by Fetisov. Up Yemchinov with it again. Sergei Niemchinov. Fatizov, and solidly by Turgeon's check. Turgeon with a shot, scooped up and held by Milnikov. Drops it from Makarov. Up the far side, and went off Koschekin's stick. Held in by Housley to the corner for Ruff. Lindy Ruff put it to the side of the net. Taken there by Fatizov. One of the Soviets now without a helmet. Into the center ice he comes. It's Koschekin. Checked at the Buffalo line. Roger pokes it out to center ice. Bikov picks it up. 1 minute is gone in overtime. Bikov. He's been the leading scorer in this series for the Soviets. Now to Kanyetsky. Dumps it toward the corner. Sabres moving up along the boards. Back forward is Kasatona. To Bikov. Oh, knocked it off his stick. Kanyetsky gets checked. The puck comes back to Kasatonov, who shot it in. Ramsey with it now. Ramsey had it go off the stick, and it's cleared outside the line. Bikov waited, then gave it away. Down the near side comes Parker. Shoots one from the blue line that missed the net. Parker after his own rebound. Unloaded. That hit Guzarov. Guzarov gets up slowly after taking the force of the shot off the ankle. Housley back in his own zone with a pass to Ramsey. Off Dubnyensky. Housley met him, knocking him off balance. Bikov shoots it in around the boards. Got away from Puka. This is Metcalf now for Buffalo. Stop Metcalf. Long pass intercepted in center ice. Davidoff over the line. Telepukin trailing. Davidoff can't get out of the corner. Metcalf picks it up. Metcalf trying to flip it up. Helikov knocked it down, and Housley rushes the puck. The Soviets get 2 men back. Housley over the line, cuts in, went to the forehand and chipped it just wide. Now centers. Presley scores! Priestley! Buffalo defeats the Central Red Army in overtime, 6-5. It's only the second loss for the Soviets in this series, and look at the celebration going on at Moore Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. Ken Sater being congratulated by Alan Eagleson. There's a scene so similar to 1972. How many of us remember the goal scored by Paul Henderson of the Soviet Union? And now here in Buffalo, on the 9th of January, 1989, the Sabres scored in overtime, and the rookie just called up from Rochester, Priestley, gets the goal, and the National Hockey League will win the Friendship Cup. Let's take another look at it. Here's the way the play developed in the Soviet end of the ice. All of a sudden, or I should say in the Buffalo end of the ice, all of a sudden they move in on the right side. This is Housley. Trying to go to the forehand, missed. And he's able to play the puck back. It comes right out in front of Priestley. Ken Priestley gets the goal. 2 minutes and 20 seconds into sudden death overtime. You see the handshake, and let's see again how the National Hockey League took the Friendship Cup away from the Soviets. All they needed was a tie. But this play by Housley, the puck goes wide. Milnikov down, it comes back in the net. Went to the left. Milnikov seemed to react late. And Priestley beats him, and look at that reaction. And the celebration was underway. Here it is again. Housley. He pokes it back to the other side out in front, and there is Priestley. And the National Hockey League has defeated, or I should say the Buffalo Sabres has defeated the Soviet Union Central Red Army team 6-5 in overtime. And as a result, because of goals, while the series is 6-1 and a tie, the National Hockey League teams scored 46 goals. The Soviets scored 43 goals. So the difference is in goals again as the Superpower Series ends in overtime with Buffalo winning 6-5 and the NHL winning the Sports Channel America Friendship Cup.